Okay, so today is Tuesday, June 1st, and I have committed to recording and uploading one video per week. Why, you ask? It's so that I can get better at creating content through video. And so in order to get better at the recording and editing process, you've just got to do it more often. So that's what I've committed to do this month. Now, here's the catch. Here's the insight. I had originally planned to use one camera this week, and it was my DJI Osmo Pocket. I was just going to use it the entire week just to become very familiar with it and to become more proficient. And as soon as I said that, I wanted to pick up the Sony and use it. And that's what I'm using now. And I know if I say I only want to use those two cameras for the week, I'll want to pick up my Canon and incorporate that. So I'm not going to restrict myself to a single camera. I am simply going to video and upload once a week. So wish me luck. Well, just as I predicted, I told myself this week that I would use my smaller cameras, and as soon as I said it, I immediately wanted to pick up my Canon and start vlogging. Why, you ask? Even though it's ginormously heavy, kind of partial to the image quality. Onboard mic is not bad. It actually records pretty decent audio. And if you look in the back, got somewhat of a blurry background. I do have to extend my arm out as far as it'll go. Probably would help if I had a better tripod to use. Let's get a picture of Doggo. Doggo's looking extremely happy, laying there on the ground. Alright, so how's the white balance? How's the exposure? I committed to filming every day and submitting at least, or uploading, publishing, whatever you call it, one video a week on YouTube, so I can hone my craft a little bit, get better at the whole editing process. I don't know what that dog's got the ball, but it's not doing anything. Let's go look at the dog. She's way more interesting than I am. Doggo, what's going on over here? What you doing? Huh? Why aren't you playing with your ball? Oh, here she comes. Okay, here we go. Come on, get that ball. Go get it. Well, she ran, she found it, and then she guarded it. Very interesting. All right, one more time. I think she's had enough. We'll turn this off. Well, good afternoon, and this is Mike with Low Def Media. I've got two cameras set up today. I've got the iPhone 11 here, and I've got the DJI Osmo Pocket over here, there. And today, I've always wanted to do this. Let me backtrack just a little bit. Decided that I was going to film or record something every day, put it all together, and submit, upload, publish a weekly vlog. Okay. So, then the question became, well, which camera do I use? And so I've decided I just want to use all of them. So in this episode, we are comparing side by side the iPhone 11, which can record at 4K, and the DJI Osmo Pocket 1, which also records at 4K. Both are set at 30 frames a second, and I've got them set at the same height, same distance, internal microphone. So I'd be very interested to get your opinion to find out which image you like the most. Now, looking at it through the very tiny screen on the DJI Osmo, it appears I'm getting just a slightly wider field of view. And on the iPhone, not quite so wide, but obviously a much larger viewing image, so you can tell where you are on screen and where you're at in the frame, and you can kind of get yourself set up. So both of them are extremely easy to use. I do like the DJI Osmo because it will follow me. Now see, if I go over here, the DJI Osmo follows me, the iPhone does not. So that's something to consider. If you're going to be moving around when you're doing your video, whatever you're videoing, whether it be a vlog or if you're videoing movement, action, the DJI Osmo has that nice gimbal, and so it will pan left to right, also up and down. iPhone doesn't do that, but for a talking head video like this, being able to see yourself on screen is extremely useful. You can kind of see yourself on the Osmo, but not so much. It's like this big. And so without my glasses, I couldn't even see it. I wouldn't know where I'm at. So tell me in the comments below, let me know, because there are a ton of videos like this out there, but I find that when I watch their videos, that it's more about the thing they're selling, and because they're sponsored by them and they get a kickback, so it's more about that than anything else. And it's about them getting their vlog to look a certain way so they can get more views. It has very little to do with the actual product or your opinion. So, being that I'm a fledgling vlogger and I don't really do any of that fancy schmancy transition stuff and montage intros and all that, I just want your opinion. So give these two a look and let me know, which one do you prefer? Thanks, and we'll see you later. All right, well, good morning, glorious people of the internet. It is Thursday morning. It is about 8 o'clock. I'm already out at the park across the street from the house, getting those early morning steps in before work. Using the GoPro 7 this morning, just because it's a smaller profile, easier to carry, and hoping that the internal stabilization is pretty good because I'm walking on uneven ground. Anyway, so just thought it would be a good opportunity to check in, let you know how the challenge is going. This is the third day of the challenge. Started on Tuesday. Today's Thursday, so it's the third day. The recording part is easy. Sticking a camera in front of my face and starting to blather on, pretty easy. It's the editing. It's getting the video from the device to a platform where I can edit it and then getting it presentable so that we can have something to submit at the end of the week. That's the challenge. And if you follow other content creators, Potato Jet has started his own challenge where he's doing like 5 things every day to help bring balance to his life. This is kind of similar, where it just has to become a habit, where every day you're doing certain things. You know, you got to plan out, you got to pick up the camera, you got to edit, and just get into that habit, that workflow, so that you have everything you need at the end of the week. So haven't submitted anything yet. This is still the first week, so hopefully everything continues to go as planned, and at the end of the week I'll have a very nice week-long vlog series for you to enjoy. And until then, I'm gonna keep kicking some of these steps and then get back to the house and start some work. So we will see you later. Well, good morning, glorious people of the internet, and welcome back to the trail. It is Friday morning, and this is another installment of the daily vlog, which will culminate into a weekly submission. So I'm out trying to get those steps in early before the work day. It's a pretty foggy day today. You can probably see that right out there. So anyway, one thing I did realize is that if you want to include B-roll in your videos, like today I'm out walking at a park and there's a creek, I was going to include some slow motion B-roll. That would mean I have to stop doing what I'm doing and not be totally into this, you know, walking, working out kind of thing. You have to stop and you have to take a break and you have to get all in the mindset of taking video and blah blah blah. And so that's not something I'm willing to do for the sake of B-roll. So my apologies, but no B-roll this morning. I gotta get these steps in. We'll see you later. Well, hello. Good afternoon. Just wanted to jump in here real quick and tell you about something that I saw today on YouTube. I didn't know that you can do a product review without owning or even having the product. That's right. I saw a video today where someone compared two cameras but only owned one of the cameras and used information that he found online about the other camera and test footage that other people had taken and used that in a comparison video on his channel. I didn't even think that was possible. Does that classify as bait and switch or clickbait or something like that? I mean, when you see a review, a video review, you expect to see both cameras. You expect the person reviewing those two items to at least have both of them. Wow, this opens up a whole new door of opportunity, possibilities. I could review anything. I don't have to have something. I could just review it. Alright, this is sample footage with the DJI Osmo Pocket 1 with a newer ND filter, 4-stop, or it's a number 4, I don't know what you call that. Anyway, sample footage. See what it looks like. Nice sunny day. That filter's making the gimbal pretty slow. So I think the ND filter is making this very sluggish. It's not as responsive as it normally is, but it's interesting because with the Freewell wide angle lens, it does much better, and that's a much larger lens. So interesting. Well, good morning and welcome to the vlog. Here is Tammy. She's gonna be today's camera holder.
Good morning. It is a Sunday morning, June, I don't know.
Something, 7th perhaps?
7th, something like that. We're heading to Nashville because as you see, this box has come and there's more in the back, a shelf. And we're driving to Nashville because Mackenzie is doing a residency in Knoxville. So she's home this weekend, and all this came this last week. So this is the last of her furniture, and we're taking it to her.
So today we're acting like Amazon delivery drivers. And I do want you to make note of the time, because we had said we would be on the road by 8, and it is 8:02, and we've already been on the road for 10 minutes.
I love being early.
If you're not early, you're late.
And then you're a loser.
So that's number 1. And number 2, look, this thing is in between the seats.
All the way back to the trunk. Like,
This is one of the struggles of having a smaller car. I like the fuel economy and being able to park, but it doesn't carry beans.
nope.
So anyway, we're gonna go up there, we're gonna drop this thing off, hang out for an hour or two, and then turn right back around and come home.
And take care of Stella.
The things that parents do for younglings.
No kidding. All right.
All right.
Well, we'll talk to you in a little while.
All right, peace.
Bye.
All right, well, happy Sunday evening. Quick update. In the last video, we were on our way to Nashville to do a quick round trip to Nashville. Just wanted to let you know we did make it back without incident. Everything went great. Even got some good Mexican food while we were up there. Doggo was super excited to see us when we got back. Even squeezed in a little 2-mile run when I got back home. So just a very quick update. We made it. Tomorrow I'll provide a wrap-up of the week and submit my weekly video as part of my monthly challenge. Have a good night, everybody. Hey there, and welcome back to the channel. It's Monday, and it's time for that week in review. As you recall, I challenged myself this past week to record daily vlog entries and then compile them for one weekly YouTube submission. Hey, good news. I made my goal. I was able to, as you've seen in the video before, record every day, and here is the summary from everything I learned this week. Oh, hey, before I get started, I wanted to put a plug in for this teleprompter app. Now, I'm not using it right now. I did try to use it today. But what I realized is that putting the teleprompter in front of the camera made me look at the teleprompter and not the camera. And so it was very obvious that I was reading a script. It was my first attempt at really trying to script out what I was going to say for any of my vlogs. And so it didn't really work the way I wanted it to, so I kind of nixed the whole thing. But what I did do, and what has been very helpful, is scripting it out, becoming very familiar and comfortable with what I wanted to say, and then kind of using them as notes later. So as I'm going through the vlog, I can kind of cut and edit and put things together, but at least have some words pre-made so I know what I want to tell you. So teleprompter app, it's great if you can get it set up to where you can look at your camera at the same time you're reading. I don't have one of those cool glass things where you can put your camera behind it, so it didn't really work for me 100%. Now, the first thing I learned this week is that pointing a camera at your face and just talking, well, that's the easy part. The really hard part is figuring out what to say, what your content's going to be about, and then setting aside the time you need to actually film what you're going to say. My encouragement to you, if you're wanting to be a YouTube vlogger, is to come up with a plan. Because like the old adage says, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So plan out what you're going to say, what you want your content to be about, and then set aside that time, because if you don't watch out, you'll end up running out of it. Secondly, I learned that editing is a very time-consuming process, and you really need to set aside that time necessary to get it all done. What I also learned, having gone back through all my footage, is that lighting, changing your camera angles, focal length, adding music is all very important, and I didn't do hardly any of that this past week. So what I am also going to challenge myself to do this coming week is to incorporate more of that so that it's more visually interesting to you, the viewing audience. So look for more of that next week. Lastly, I used a bunch of cameras last week. I had originally planned to use just my smaller cameras, like the DJI Osmo I'm using now, or my Sony Point and Shoot, or even my GoPro Hero 7 Black. But what I found was that I used my Canon and I used my iPhone, and I really used whatever I could get my hands on. And that brings me to my third learning point. Your best camera is the one you use. You could have the best camera in the world, but if you don't use it, it instantly becomes worthless. So learn from me and get cameras or a camera that you're going to use, that you feel comfortable picking up and using almost in any given situation. This particular camera, the DJI Osmo, I feel comfortable taking it out because of the gimbal, and so it's got great stabilization, but I also feel comfortable using it here because, as you see, I've got a lapel mic, I've got studio lighting, and this image is still great. So again, find the camera that you're going to use, because that's the tool that'll work best for you. Well, I think that just about wraps it up for this week. Now, it's time to start it all over again, starting tomorrow, and do it all over. So this coming week, challenge is still the same. To record every day and then make one video, upload it, submit it to YouTube at the end of the week. Now, hopefully this week, I'll do a little bit more of editing and getting some various camera angles, focal length, that kind of thing, to make it a little more visually interesting. And I might even try to include some B-roll. That is a kind of a footnote. When I'm out actually filming a couple of the snippets that you saw this week, I was out at a park. The challenge is stopping what you're doing and then going out to film the B-roll and then going back to what you were doing. That's been very challenging for me, but I'm going to try and do a better job of that this week. Again, trying to learn and become a better content creator. All right, well, that's all I've got. Thanks so much for tuning into the channel, and I look forward to seeing you right here again next week.